over abroad, it was still flipping dial-up. Okay? So, um, where Chris is concerned right now, Cristiano is not done. Because what I've seen of this guy is this guy's hungry. And this guy's very sharp. And this guy is determined to do something. Because let me remind the people again. He scored in both of those legs against Ajax. But the team was trash. So he did his bit. He showed up in both legs. But there's only so much one man can do.
He scored the Atletico Madrid
If
goal.
Cristiano gets a Champions League with Juventus, those are Champions Leagues with three different teams where he has been a critical member, a critical component of those three teams. I think we need to talk. From what I saw in that game, that opening game, this guy hasn't lost a step. And for people denying his goal scoring abilities, his effectiveness, we can talk about footballing ability and everything, but as far as effectiveness, hunger, ability to win a game, to come clutch, this dude ain't done. So I'm gonna ride with start first with your boy Abdullahi. So Abdullahi, so the question is this: what do you expect of Cristiano this season? Do you think that he will be on the decline? Do you think he's still relevant? How do you rate Cristiano, and what do you think he can achieve this season for Juventus?
Wow. My expectation for Cristiano Ronaldo, I've been saying it. He's been my biggest fan. I love Cristiano. I love Cristiano a lot. He's been my biggest fan. Very wonderful player. I love him a lot, a lot. Very good player. For
Okay, get
Juventus,
to it, bro.
for Juventus, I want him to deliver the Champions League. I want him to make a name because people has been saying Lionel Messi only play for FC Barca. He only won the Champions League for Barcelona. Cristiano always run away from Man United to Real Madrid to Juventus. He has won it back to back for Real Madrid, for United, and also if he wins it again for Juventus, now he needs to be speaking up because people has been rating Ronaldo. It's not top three. It's not top two. Jujuma is gonna be saying it now. Ronaldo is not. He doesn't want top two, top three. If he wins it again this year, Jujuma, you need to apologize. Send an apology letter to Cristiano and all Juventus fans. An apology to everybody.
One hundred
If he
percent.
wins the Champions League again, if he wins it again for Juventus, Jujuma needs to apologize to all Juventus
100%.
fans, all of them, all.
Hundred
Because he
percent.
has
No, no,
proven
no,
everybody wrong.
no.
He has
Because
proven
trust.
them
No, no,
wrong.
no. I'm gonna get to Jujuman because trust me, Jujuman, you're gonna have to do something. But trust me, I'll get to you. Okay, Abdullah,
He
thank you
has to
for your
apologize.
point.
He has to. If Cristiano wins it again for Juventus this year, if he wins the Champions League again this year, he has to just apologize for Cristiano himself, all Juventus fans across the world,
And his
all of
family.
them, an apology letter.
I,
Everybody,
I,
just
Okay,
I
all
beg
right,
you.
all right,
I
okay.
beg you.
All right, Ahmed. Thoughts for on hopes for what do we think Cristiano can do this season for Juventus?
I think that he's gonna have a good season, better than last season, but it's not gonna be an out of this world season. It's not gonna be his best season ever. It's gonna be a decent or good season by anyone's standards. But what he's expected to do, obviously, in the next two seasons is win the Champions League for Juventus. If he does that, I think a lot of people might already say that he's the greatest Champions League player ever. And I think if he wins a sixth one and one with a third club, you like a lot more people would be saying that. I think Ronaldo essentially has to, as long as it takes. Similar with Guardiola City, both of them need Champions League at the current club that they're at. So like Ronaldo needs that Champions League at Juventus, and I think I'm not sure about this season. After seeing Juventus, I don't know how to see how Sarri fits in, but next season for sure, if he doesn't win the UCL, it's not gonna severely damage his legacy, but it's gonna be a letdown if he's unable to win the UCL with
Okay.
Juventus because that's his whole
Well,
purpose
get
there.
ready, get ready, get ready. He's about to not win this shit. So
All right. Okay. So just very quickly before I go to hardcore, I did say I was going to respond to this question that Rodrigo said, which was that um, basically if Cristiano, Griezmann, Salah, and Neymar were all 21, who would you buy? For me, it has to be Neymar because he gives me goals, he gives me assists, he gives me creativity and everything, and I'll just make sure that they do never goes to PSG, never becomes arrogant, and I'll make sure to bulk him up and protect him. But for me, 100% for sure, it has to be Neymar. And Gerald Holder with the $2 super chat says, with regards to the whole Mane Salah thing, Mane is better top scorer without penalties. How do you like that, Hazem? Hazem,
So why
don't
does
take
he
the bait.
take-
Don't take the bait.
Penalties
Don't
are
take
gold.
the bait.
Penalties-
Coach Hardcore, talk to me about Cristiano. What are the hopes for him this season? What do you think he's going to achieve this season?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Cristiano does this season. Although Juventus is a Italian league team, they're not
Jeez.
international a team like AC Milan is. But
Oh,
the problem here is
come back.
the problem here is I think, and I always say this, I think they bottle in the Champions League. They have problems. Rugani is a bit suspect. Bonucci,
Yeah.
Bonucci, Bonucci is suspect too. And their midfield, like I said, Rabiot is overrated, and Ramsey, I don't think he's world class. I
Okay,
don't think
so
he's.
basically, so you think that Cristiano will have to do too much carrying for this team?
I think so. I really do think so. I still feel like they're missing something in that team in order for them to win the UCL. But I think if Ronaldo wins another Euros, it's game over for Laessi. I think Laessi's done in 2019.
Oh,
Why is everything about Laessi and Milan with you?
Wait, come
No,
on,
no,
let him land. Let Hardcore land. Let
it's
Hardcore land. Let
this,
Hardcore land.
this is what I'm gonna land on, right? This is what I'm gonna land on. If CR7 wins the Euros, literally, right?
Euros.
It, it literally makes it literally makes the whole Messi argument irrelevant anymore because he's gonna be in the
He
irrelevant
already
zone.
won the Euros.
And
What?
no, he needs to win
Oh,
it. He needs to win it again.
either won the Euros, but okay.
He needs to win it again to solidify his legacy. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So my thing here is this is my thing, okay, and I'll just end with this. I think Ronaldo will be top scorer in Serie A because to be honest, Serie A is a dead league. I mean, I don't know how you can't score against Udinese of all people.
Oh,
It's
don't take your anger out on the song.
but to be honest with you, no. I'm saying like all the teams in Syria, they're just dead. I'll just be honest here. And yeah, I mean, I think Seattle will be the
Whoa,
top
whoa,
scorer
whoa,
for
whoa, whoa!
Syria.
What the hell is that?
Whoa! Oh, electrocute your
Syria
side, man.
seven, Syria
Or
seven
look,
will be the top
look,
scorer for
Hardcore.
Syria.
Round off, man. Round off, round off, round off, man. Round
Okay,
off. What the hell?
I'll round off. Syria seven will be the top scorer for Syria. He will do what he did last season in terms of, really carrying this Juve team. But the problem is, I'm afraid they're gonna bottle a final, or even not bottle even a final, but bottle a knockout
God
stage.
forbid that Juventus bottle another final. Because if they do, the club has to dissolve. Um,
Yeah,
Hazem, Cristiano, what can he do this season?
So, first of all, Juventus winning a Champions League, it's an oxymoron. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, man. They're not even. No, man. I'm sorry, man. They've been reaching all these finals now. With Sarri coming in, I just don't see them getting past the round of 16.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, man. With Sarri coming in, what has Sarri ever done in the Champions League? Second of all, how can Sarri implement a system on Juventus? And third of all, Juventus is already bottling in the Champions League, and they're adding Sarri to it, so they're extending the process by another 100 years. So there's too many factors. So even if Ronaldo wanted to, if he wants to win the Champions League, he needs to just change club again because he chose the wrong club for the Champions League. He's choosing a target that
Okay,
can't
okay,
be achieved.
okay. Hazem, let me ask you this. Let me paint a scenario. If Cristiano does somehow win a Champions League with this team that you say is allergic to winning the Champions League, how would that then change your view or paint your view
Oh,
of Cristiano as a player?
if he wins the Champions League with Juventus, which is already impossible, so he's defying the impossible, then that will make him the greatest player of all time.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Hasman said it. All right, Juju man. So Juju man. So okay, so Juju man. Okay. Wait. No. Let me know. I'll ask the questions. Yeah, I'll ask the damn questions on my damn show,
Yeah.
baby. You used to be a Real Madrid fan. Because let's take things back many years. So for those who've been listening, because I don't know how many of you in the chat room were listening to the Hangouts like when it first they began. So when the Hangouts first began, this is talking like about 3 or 4 years ago, which is crazy. Jujman was a Real Madrid fan, a full-on Real Madrid fan when Cristiano was fully in there. So Jujman, please tell the audience, for those of you who knew you when the Hangouts first began in their infancy, what made you fall out of love with Cristiano? And why don't you believe that this dude can somehow lead Juventus to the promised land? Because that's why they bought him in the first place. And why are you denying this man's hunger for G's?
Yeah, look, like this is not like I legit have a Cristiano Ronaldo poster from when I was young. Like this guy, I used to look up to this guy, like from United 2003. This is crazy, but and I backed him up this entire time for the hangout. But I tell you, people say he's still on top. The season where he declined and no one's giving, no one is afraid to say is the last season Madrid won Champions League. That's when he declined, and it was painful. Like I even say, I think if anyone was here, I even said in the hangout, I think he's declined, and it was painful, but it was a reality. And but what's it called? Juve. The cheap club, they like cheap free players. They went and bought Ronaldo, and like we used to back this guy up because of his stats. His stats, like no one apart from Messi, no one could touch this guy. He was the best, and I think he'll go down as one of the best players. But the problem is, it's 2019. Its times have changed. We have to move on, and the fact that people rate him.
So Jujuman,
Wait.
Are you telling me that Cristiano is yesterday's news? He's no longer relevant in football.
No, yeah, he's not relevant to right now in football. No, and look, and if we want to back it up, people say he did well in the Champions League, 3 goals against Atleti. I have the top scorer, the scoring chart, and I'm looking. He had the same goals as Musa Marega and Tadic.
Marega played well.
But he had the same goals as them. So why are they not top 5? No, why are they not top 5?
But Jujuman, did Marega or Tadic score a clutch hat-trick against Atletico?
Oh, boy.
Did either of them score against Ajax in both legs?
Tadic put a 9 out of 10 performance against Madrid, the 13th champions. And then let's move on to Syria. I'm looking at the top scorer and top assist charts, and Quagliarella, top scorer, Zapata, Piatek, all had better numbers than Ronaldo. And then
they didn't.
They did. I have the chart.
They did, yeah.
Good. They did. And then
Not
go to the assists. No. They did. They had more goals than them. And then wait. And then the assist. You have Gomez, you have Martins, you have Suso, you have Callejon, you have Quagliarella, you have Rodrigo De Paul, you have Manuel Lazari, and then you have Ronaldo, and then people try and tell me, no, I'm looking at I'm looking at numbers, and it's like, how are you putting this guy as top 5 because he plays for Juventus? The numbers, wait, I'm looking at the numbers. He's average according to the numbers. They're better players than him. They're putting numbers. People telling me,
Hold on.
no. People are telling me.
When you score,
Let Jujuman land. Let Jujuman land.
No. Yeah, because people are telling me he's top 3 in the world. This is ridiculous. We don't give up our sympathy awards for because he's old and he's playing at the top league. We don't give sympathy awards. We judge you. We don't care if how old you are. You're a judge at the same standard as everyone else. Just because you perform, like his numbers are average in Europe. So people say he's the best. I don't know where they're coming up with the metric, because I'm looking at the numbers and there's nothing impressive here. There's nothing impressive. Like, how can there's no objective argument you can come up.
But Jujuman, no. One thing I will agree with Jujuman on is this. One thing I would have to agree upon is this: is that even if I feel that he may be hating a bit on Cristiano, there is no way in hell Cristiano is top 3 in the world. No
but
way.
like no
As of right,
argument.
because
The numbers
so
don't support it.
that FIFA thing that was released that put him top 3 is complete total BS. Total BS.
HH, and Jujima, how funny is it? How funny is it?
Wait. Let's okay, Jujuman, just
funny, man.
round. So,
Yeah,
so round
yeah.
off your point. So, Jujuman, specifically, what do you think Cristiano can achieve with Juventus this season?
With this Juventus, like I'm expecting, like he'll be lucky to get 30 goals. I'm being honest. Like he'll be lucky to
thank
get
you,
30 goals.
Juju, man. Thank
No,
you.
no,
Thank you.
yep. And he'll
Keep counting
at
us
the
out,
best.
Juju,
No,
man. Keep
yeah,
counting us out.
I am, and
Stop screaming,
I
stop
legit,
screaming, Christ.
I'll put money on it, Christ. I'll put money on it.
Put
You know,
money on
touching
it,
that
Juju.
Champions League.
Put money on
No,
it
I
right
will,
now.
I
Put money
will.
on it.
And
Round
the
of
other thing
16.
is, the other thing is, this season he'll be fortunate to get what's he goal 20 goals. I'm expecting around there. But Double H, you say that he looks sharp, but how many goals did he score?
He does.
No,
Jujuman, he does.
Yeah, but I watched that Juventus game. I watched that Juventus game with the guys, and these guys were like, I saw him. Another season, he scored. He made a shot to the stands, and he looks sharp. But how many goals? Okay, we move on. Another game he did score. Let's see how many goals he has. Because we talk about numbers these days. Like you can't make a different criteria. That's it. So around 20 something goals if he's lucky.
Okay.
15 around there.
Okay,
Jujuman,
all right.
I
No.
say it's
But
15 max?
Jujuman, before I move on, very, very clear. If Cristiano leads Juventus, hardcore, can you stop whispering hardcore, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
So Jujuman,
question.
just chill. Jujuman, if Cristiano leads Juventus to a Champions League, are you gonna come on this hangout and give a 5-minute apology to Cristiano?
5
Yes,
hours.
yes.
10 minutes minimum.
I'll give a public apology, and I'm so confident he's not going to do it. But if he does it, I'll say I was wrong.
better
and-
not hide, Juju,
No,
man. You
no,
better
I
not
won't.
hide.
I won't. I've never looked. If he does it, I'll say I was wrong. I doubted the goat. That's what I'll say. I was wrong. I doubted the goat. But
And repeat that for 5 hours.
All right. Okay. So guys.
but if he doesn't, yeah, no, I'm telling you, Juventus fan, you better hope you win. You better hope you win that Champions League. Because if you don't, and everyone's saying Juventus is this, Juventus that, you
It's
better
impossible.
hope. If you don't win, like I swear, I'll abuse that club. No. Excuse for what? Like,
Okay, no.
everyone's putting them as favourites.
Okay, fine. But basically, everybody has seen it and everyone is cleared. So if it does happen, Judgment has to come in here and
Yeah,
he
I'll
needs to
apologize.
get that thing like that. So, Mane, thoughts, Cristiano, what can he achieve this season?
I disagree completely with everything Juji just said.
Facts.
First
did
of
you
all,
call
when
him
you look at
Juji?
whatever is
Okay,
Juju,
just current.
yeah.
Current.
Juju, yeah. Okay. So when you look at the goals per game, which is what matters more, Cristiano had 21 goals in 31 appearances in Serie A, whereas Quagliarella, I think he had 26 goals, but he played about 6 more games, so you can't really compare those two.
The man who's 36.
Exactly. Thank you for pointing out his. Okay.
No, by the way,
it's not.
Allegri.
It's
No,
not
wait,
your
wait.
turn. It's not your turn.
No,
it's my turn.
Allegri. No, he rested. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Allegri, he rested during those games, so it's not his fault if you take a break. It's too bad. You took a break.
Okay. Can I?
Whose fault is that?
Judgment, let's
Sorry.
money land. Let's money land.
All right. Okay. I'll let you.
Goal scoring wise, Champions League he had 6 goals in 9 appearances. So overall, his goal scoring is actually pretty good when you consider other players. Not very many players that play his position that are that old can even reach there. But talking about his decline, I don't think he's really declined that much. I think he's just faced in a tougher league where it's harder to come by. Goals are harder to come by. The average goal scoring rate is lower than the
Thank you.
La
That's true,
Liga.
that's true.
Thank you,
So
man.
that's the only reason why his numbers decreased. But performance-wise, he's still performing a very similar level to where he was at Real Madrid. Albeit, you gotta give him a little bit of leeway. It was his first season. He's still trying to fit in a new country, new system. It's not easy. But even then, he became the best goals per game ratio in Serie A, and coming from a 35-year-old. And even saying he's 35. Listen, if Quagliarella can do that at his age, Cristiano is about 15 times a much better player than Quagliarella. So he's gonna be good until his final day of his contract in 2022. He's still gonna be at the top level. And talking about he's not top five, of course he is top five. Yeah, players like Hazard. Hazard, who does this, who has never scored more than 15 goals in his whole career. In his peak,
No.
he's never scored more than
Easy.
15 goals.
Okay, no. Mane,
Preach.
Mane. Last I checked, Hazard is not a goal scorer. Cristiano is a goal
Listen,
scorer.
he has
How
he
you
has
rating
just as
Hazard based
much.
on his goals? How you rating
He
Hazard
has
based on
just
his
as
goals?
much freedom as Cristiano to score as many goals as he wants to.
Hazard-
There are no excuses for Hazard. Nobody's for. Does he have to play in his position? Does he have to play like Willian used to play? You have to be a right winger, play strictly your role. No, Hazard could do anything he wanted.
Okay, Mane.
But he
let me
still
ask you
couldn't
this.
score.
Okay, Mane, let me
He
ask you
still
this.
couldn't score. There's no excuse.
Mane, let me ask you
and
this.
if you
Mane, let me ask you this: is Cristiano
Okay.
top 3 in the world right now?
Yes. I think so. Yeah, he has to be top 3. You can't just take the crown from the king that easily just
What
because he
team?
moved to a new country.
What
He's the
team?
king. It's him and Messi. Him and Messi for the past 9 years. So, put some respect. Put some respect on his name. And speaking of, who could you put half up? Who could you put better than him? Who could you put better than him that has performed at his level?
Do
Nobody.
you want me to speak Mane in 2019? Because I'm not saying overall, but I'm saying in 2019. In 2019, I am putting Salah ahead of Cristiano. I am
Salah is
putting
better.
Hazard ahead of Cristiano. I am putting Bernardo Silva
Yes,
ahead of
Salah is better.
Cristiano. I am putting Van Dijk ahead of Cristiano. I'm putting
Yes.
Sterling ahead of Cristiano. I'm putting Sadio Mane ahead
Van
of
Dijk.
Cristiano.
Lewandowski ahead of Cristiano.
Yes.
As of right
Yes.
now in this world. So
It's a hard truth.
Listen.
wait. Let me wait. Before
Salah is better than Ronaldo.
There's nobody.
Yeah, that's the guy. We're putting.
There's nobody on that list that you said is better than Cristiano.
Okay,
Nobody
Mane,
that can-
okay. Before I go to Nish, let me just read these super chats. Let me read the super chats. So from Martin Rosario, who says, "Keep that same energy, Juju, when Cristiano gets the 6th ring." Interesting.
Listen.
From Machine, chill, guys, chill.
Possible.
I have a question
From
for you.
Machine,
Besides the balls, the physics.
from Machine, who drops €5, who says, "Juju having a hard time since Hardcore stole his thunder. Cristiano will be the
Ronaldo
best
fanboy.
player." Guys, let me read out the message. I need to shush. I just read out the message. Cristiano will be the best player on the planet for as long as he laces his boots. Machine, you're insane. You're insane. 50 Cent, who says Messi in 2017 to 2018 scored 45 goals and 18 assists, and FIFA ranked him 5th. Cristiano scores 28. Guys, let me land. Cristiano scores 28 goals in all competitions in 2019 and is on the Ballon d'Or podium.
Listen. Whoever that
and
guy
people
is.
like this is
Fabric.
Whoever
different leagues.
Drop
Wait,
your
wait,
account
guys,
number.
chill.
Let me send you
No.
money. Let me send that guy
I'm going
money.
to Nish
Real
now. I'm going to Nish.
That's
Okay,
a
Nish,
real
it's your
comment.
point. Nish.
Yeah, first, dude, let me just respond to Juju, man, dude. Okay, Juju, man, you know what, dude? Everything you said about Cristiano being finished, dude, you exactly described in 4 sentences the state of Lionel Fraudessi Liessi, bro. I love
See
you
this guy.
with that, dude.
Thank you.
And then,
you.
secondly,
Oh,
this-
hardcore, don't please.
This
I love this.
propaganda, dude. This propaganda, like,
love you too.
smells, dude. This propaganda smells so bad, dude. I can smell it all the way from like Lahore, Pakistan, dude. I don't know what like you put in your mouth just now. Okay, third of all, like, how is like Cristiano not top 3, dude? What are you talking about? Okay, so who's better? Who's some Sasquatch? Some Dutch Sasquatch in Liverpool who's like scared, who's too
We're
scared
saying
to
2019, bro.
take attack. Yeah, no, who's too
2019.
A center back.
some Dutch. Let me finish.
Fucking center back, top 3.
Let me finish. Some Dutch Sasquatch from Liverpool who's too scared to take
Sasquatch?
on wingers
What?
1v1. Okay, some Egyptian bum, dude, who should have been left in the Stone Ages, who got slapped around by Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
This guy-
who has the Champions League this year?
Wait. Let's Nish finish. Let him land. Let Nish land.
And let me let me come now with that argument you brought for Pogba last week, yeah? Okay, so where is Hazard's like Champions League final appearance? Where is his World Cup final appearance? Where is his Euros final appearance?
Exactly.
Where's Ronaldo's
Where are those,
Champions
dude?
League final
They
appearance
play.
this year?
Both of them play left wing. Both of them play left wing. So how come Hazard isn't coming up with these numbers? How come he's not reaching Champions League finals? How come he's dropping disaster classes every time he steps up in Champions League? Oh,
Facts.
Let me tell you something else. Let me tell something else.
He has a
Okay?
point there, bro.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. Cristiano is the greatest Champions League player of all time, dude. These
True, I kept
Messi
telling you
bums, dude.
this before.
These Messi bums. Yeah, no,
After Maldini, yeah.
I'm about to just no. He's the greatest, dude.
Yeah,
I'm tell you,
Better than
these
Maldini.
bums, dude. All these
Relax,
front
relax.
Liesi bums, dude.
Let's
These
be honest.
Liesi cult members and Guardiola cult members. These Barca dogs, dude. Like they keep saying, oh, he has like the same like number of goals in Champions League as Cristiano. Well, it's close, but let me tell you what, dude. Let me tell you what. The stat is misleading because how many goals do they have in knockout stages? Cristiano
Of
has
course.
42.
Wait.
How many goals?
Coming to Juju.
How is it misleading? It wasn't misleading when he was scoring
completely
knee tapping.
misleading. It's completely
hold-
misleading, dude.
hold-
Because in their career highlights, their career highs, okay, their overall careers, Cristiano has 42 knockout stage goals in Champions League. Messi only has 18.
We're talking about
18.
2019, bro.
In 2019, yeah, 2019.
Okay, in 2019,
Only-
okay,
only,
2019
you see-
hat-trick against Atletico. Okay,
It's- you see-
Exactly.
you see-
Quarterfinals.
Wait,
Only
wait.
thing
You
everybody
see,
says.
you know what's
Round
funny?
of 16.
No, Harry.
It's
Only
only
Harry.
it's only these.
Wait. Let's Nish fish. Let's Nish land.
Radical, bro. Radical, bro. Let me
Finish. I'll talk when I'm done. Just
Just
finish.
quick
I'm
fact.
done.
Quick
No,
fact.
when you're done, I'll talk.
Quick
Finish.
fact. Quick
Relax.
fact. Okay, Messi hasn't scored a Champions League away goal in the knockout stages since Arsenal in 2016.
Hallelujah.
No, don't say hallelujah, man. I'm sorry.
2019.
Yeah,
Talk about this
2019.
year.
We
Okay,
heard you,
okay,
man.
fair enough. Okay, let me bring in Radical. Okay, Nish, you talk. Let me bring in Radical. Okay, Radical.
Only a Real Madrid waste man will be talking about Liesi and everyone here is being serious. Now these guys talking about like he's on Twitter or something. Liesi, man. Listen, bro. Cristiano Ronaldo has got to be one of the most overrated players I've ever seen in my life.
So what does that make Messi,
Wait,
Radical?
let me
What does that
finish.
make
Let me finish. You guys. Let me
Christ,
finish.
go back to Jerusalem.
I rate Cristiano Ronaldo. I rate Cristiano Ronaldo for real. I really.
Do you?
When I was a kid, that was my G. I thought he was a good player.
Who said you were an adult?
I thought he was a good player. So cool. But honestly, I have to say, man, right now, 2019, he's definitely not top 3.
Radical, let me tell you something, bro.
Wait. Hardcore. Can you just
let me
let him
finish.
land? Let
Let me
Radical
finish.
just talk. Let Radical just talk.
The guy, whoever came through with that stat online when he said the thing about Messi being 5th and Ronaldo scoring how many goals in Serie A and coming into the Ballon d'Or shortlisting, that guy came with some facts. Cristiano Ronaldo has got some of the best PR I've ever seen in my life. This guy can drop 15 goals in Serie A if he wanted, with about 5 assists, if you find a way to come into 5. Tell me I'm lying. Because people like, what's his name? People
It's
like,
true.
what's his name? Nish will be here talking about what he did in 2011, 2012, talking about how, oh yeah, this guy's blah, blah. In 2019, this guy
I didn't
was
mention
not scratched.
2011, but okay.
No,
Yeah.
obviously you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like these guys will be going off past Broys or Cristiano Ronaldo. The guy's still a good player, but he's definitely not top 3 right now. Definitely not.
So name the
Like-
guys ahead of him, bro. Please.
I'll do.
I've mentioned so many.
No, I'll do it right now.
No, wait. Okay. Radical,
Use your
finish your
man,
point
you
because
already
we need to get to
failed.
red. Radical, just round off your point.
Okay, so my point is Cristiano Ronaldo is just very overrated, and he's definitely not winning that Champions League with Juventus. Without some, without some BS. If he wins the Champions League with Juventus, I'm giving all of you guys £10 each.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not gonna happen.
All right,
Run away.
saved.
Like
That's
when
saved.
Liverpool-
Radical, that is saved. And we all have PayPal accounts and we all have things. That is saved. So, everybody, you've
No,
heard.
I have bank
If
accounts.
Cristiano
Bro,
wins
listen, your opinion.
I'm using
this,
dollars. I don't-
if
I don't-
Cristiano
I don't
wins,
think I stay in Chicago.
wait, chill. If Cristiano wins that Champions League, Radical owes everyone in this flipping hangout £10. So, Radical, don't go back on your word. All right.
I'm talking about this year, by the way.
Yeah,
This
I know.
year.
not
All right,
happening.
red.
Okay, guys, I'm just gonna ask play before I start my turn. I didn't interrupt anybody. Can you guys please let me just spread my propaganda in peace and then keep it moving?
Guys, keep it
Yes,
keep it
Carl.
silent.
I'm
Keep it
sorry,
silent,
man.
guys.
It's
Red, hit
cancelled,
it.
bro.
I'm just gonna mention what Ronaldo did in Serie A last season, because you guys are very undermining what his accomplishment actually was. Ronaldo actually was accumulated the most points, won the most points in Serie A. He won 16 single-handedly, the most by any player. Direct contribution. If you actually remove those 16 points, that cuts the gap down between them and Napoli to 3 points, which in turn would lead the same as the year before when Napoli Juve beat Napoli. So he definitely had a huge impact in the Serie A. Aside from that, he played 33 games, scored 21, scored 21 and assisted 12. So that's 33 goal in assist contributions in 33 games. That's one every game he at least contributes to a goal. He's also the first player in Serie A history to score in 9 consecutive games. 9 consecutive away games, to be exact. Away. Let's keep that in mind, because away goals are always worth more than regular home goals. He scored against 13 of the 12 of the 13 teams against the 19 that they were playing. The rest he was rested against them. So Cristiano Ronaldo undoubtedly had a phenomenal season last season. But if he had this, he replicated the same season last year, he wouldn't have made the top 3 in the Ballon d'Or, because it was a World Cup year. Hence why Messi was bumped down a little bit last year, because it was a World Cup year. Therefore, the people in the World Cup get a bit more love. That's why Mbappe and Griezmann were rated higher, because Griezmann had the Euros, of course, and then Mbappe for his age and scoring in the final. But this year, aside from that, like, we have to also remember in the Champions League, they played 4 games in the Champions League knockout stage. Ronaldo scored in 3 of them, a total of 5 goals. Home and away against Ajax and a hat-trick against Atleti, which Atleti is one of the best teams in Europe. Like, top 5, top 10 teams in Europe right now. So at the age of 34, for a player to be able to accomplish all these accomplishments, I'm not going to even mention the UEFA Nations League and the hat-trick in the semifinal, because I know a lot of you don't rate it, but that is also recognized by UEFA. It is a trophy that is recognized by UEFA, but he did score a hat-trick over there as well. That's 2 hat-tricks. He scored 4 braces last season. And again, guys, this is 34. This is not normal. Players at the age of 34 do not have these numbers. They don't accomplish these accomplishments. So we have to show him some love. Him being top 3, it's only there, I think, as a consolation, because he's not going to win it. Realistically speaking, it's between Messi and Van Dijk. But
And Salah.
for the top 3, he's not. Salah wasn't nominated for the top 3. But like, absolutely, CR7. Like, we have to give him the love he deserves. We have to give him credit. He is among the elites in the world. Whether you want to call him top 3, top 5, top 10, he's an elite player, period. And he has nothing left to prove. If he does nothing, even if he doesn't win the Champions League with Juve, he still has 5. In all 5, top scorer. In all 5. 2 different teams. And again, Nish mentioned his knockout goal. So like, he has nothing to prove.
Yeah, I mean, he's top two greatest players of all time. I mean, yeah.
No.
He's
Radical,
still
no.
overrated,
He's
but
not,
okay.
he's not.
I mean, listen, he has to be.
But guys,
I
just
think he's
wait, chill.
overrated, but he has
Let's,
to be.
because look, we need to read because we need to talk about our final topic. So just to
Champions
round it
League.
off right now, I just feel that I'm excited for this upcoming season, and I do feel that I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna, whether he will do it, you know. But my thing is this: that if Cristiano does end up leading Juventus to a Champions League and a Juve team who may not get a Neymar or a Pogba, guys, this is 3 different teams, 3 different systems. And although Seedorf did it, Seedorf didn't have the same kind of effect that Cristiano would have had as being the main marquee guy. So it would be a very unique achievement of being the main superstar who won the Champions League with 3 different teams and 3 different systems. So at the end of the day, it just remains to be seen whether your boy will do it or not. So